Year. It either feels like 100 or you've got scattered downpours, and today most of us feeling like 100. A live look down in Galveston where you can see some of those cumulus clouds by the coast starting to rise. We're starting to see a little bit of development, but so far it really has been quiet on the radar. Storm Tracker 2 not seeing a tremendous amount of activity, maybe a few showers trying to approach Freeport. Otherwise, it is a quiet start to the day, which means it is a hot start to the day. Actual air temperature sitting in the lower to mid 90s, 92 in Sugar Land, 91 feeling anywhere from 100 to 104 degrees. It is hot, it is humid, and as we step into the afternoon, air temperature reaching 96 degrees. You will see the possibility, only about a 20% chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm, likely more isolated than yesterday, but don't get used to it because we're tracking tropical moisture. That's going to ramp up storm chances as we head into the weekend. By Saturday, a 40% chance. By Monday, we're talking a flood threat. Bill, I'll have much more in my full forecast coming up.
The glasses, right? They're going to fog over. That's what happened to me every day this week so far.
It is that high humidity. It is so hot out there and humid, and that humidity is really what's going to get you. Much growth of these clouds. That means we're not seeing as much thunderstorm activity. In fact, if we take a look at radar, a tremendous difference from what we've seen the last 2 days. All of those lightning strikes are from storms out in coastal Louisiana. Now, that doesn't mean we won't see rain. We're still going to be tracking the possibility of some sea breeze thunderstorms pushing inland for the afternoon. If we do see those, that would likely be during the heat of the day, anytime between 2 and 5 p.m., which is unfortunately right in the middle of our evening commute. So don't rule out the possibility of a heavy downpour and frequent lightning strikes as we head towards the heat of the day. But most of us, it's really just about the high heat and humidity today. Now, afternoon thunderstorms that are going to become more widespread instead of the isolated nature we have been tracking. A big reason why is this disorganized cluster of thunderstorms. You can see it drifting north through the Bay of Campeche. This is going to keep drifting through the Gulf, bringing with it some heavy tropical moisture. Now, when we talk about tropical moisture, I'm talking about air that is extremely saturated, a tremendously high water content. That's going to be pushing into the Houston area, bringing with it the possibility for street flooding and really intense downpours. This is going to start to move in as we head into the day on station. We're one of the isolated few, and you can even really see a difference from our camera down in Galveston. You'll notice some of those clouds out there may be starting to build, but most of them just friendly cumulus clouds. As for our radar, not seeing as much activity. You can see a few thunderwise across the Houston area, one shower up near Aldine, maybe a few sprinkles out by Sienna. Other than that, activity has been few and far between. Air temperature, hot. If you haven't seen the rainfall, Katy 97, 96 in Columbus. Factor in the humidity and it feels like anywhere from 102 to 106. Please be careful out there. We're continuing to track that intense heat as we head through the night. And then into tomorrow, rain chances start to ramp back up again. But Coralie, Joel, I'll have much more in our full forecast coming up.
Meteorologist Caroline Brown is here now. And Caroline, we've had a lot of different weather across our area. Some rain, some sunshine. It can't make up its mind.
No, it really can't. And this time of year, that's really your two options. You've either got heavy downpours or sunshine. There's really no in between. And I'll tell you what, most locations right now actually seeing the sunshine today that we've seen over the week and the lowest that we'll see as we head into the weekend. Storm Tracker 2 radar right now, it doesn't look like a lot, but if we take a closer look, you can see a few downpours out there. And I'll tell you what, if you're just north of Spring or near Aldine, you're certainly seeing that heavy downpour. It's small, it's not going to last long, but that red color indicating a pretty hefty downpour there. So it is going to be heavy, but it's not producing any lightning. And thankfully, these showers are continuing to move. We're going to keep seeing those scattered downpours as we head through the next few hours, but most of them incredibly isolated. In fact, Future Track is going to show from now through the evening hours, few and far between. Most of us really just dealing with the high heat and humidity. Now, this isolated rain chance, not going to last long, as we have not a washout. I know I say that quite a bit, but that's because not everyone will see the rain, and it's not going to be raining all day long. When we are increasing these rain chances, it's just because we're going to see more widespread rain and more efficient rainmakers. And it's really because of this cluster of thunderstorms. It's been working its way to the north across the Gulf, and this is going to increase our tropical moisture, meaning air that's extremely saturated, shown here, and the brighter neon colors pushing into Houston by Saturday. That increases rain chance and coverage. And then into Monday, we're tracking a front that's going to be entering the state. Now, a lot of uncertainty. This is still about 5 to 6 days out. If the front stalls in North Texas, we're going to be more dry here in Houston. But if this front dives to the south and we have that tropical moisture in play, that could lead to a widespread flood threat. Regardless, the Weather Prediction Center has already placed us in a low flood threat for Monday. Lucky, because the rest of us are seeing some intense heat right now. We're not seeing a tremendous amount. In fact, really no lightning here in southeast Texas. We do have a few downpours you can see causing any real problems, but as they pass overhead, it can feel rather heavy. We're also tracking a shower pushing up towards Roman Forest, Splendora, and Cleveland. But other than that, things are just hot and humid. Right now, air temperature sitting in the lower to mid 90s, 94 up in Livingston, 95 in Huntsville, feeling closer to 102. So everybody dealing with the heat and the humidity as we head through the evening. Things dry out, but Coralie, Joel, much more rain is in our forecast. I've got all the details coming up.
All right.
So for every 4 degrees that we are warmer, we can hold, for every 1 degree we're warmer, we can hold 4% more water vapor.
Okay.
In our atmosphere. And when you have more water vapor, that's going to translate to heavier rainfall totals. And that's when you can see really quick flooding.
That's interesting.
So that's the problem, is it doesn't take much to hold more water vapor, which means more street flooding, and it's going to happen. A bit more sunshine than cloud cover, and we've been tracking very isolated downpours out there. In fact, Storm Tracker 2 radar right now starting to show a bit of thunderstorm activity. You can see it on the county line between Harris and Waller. We've got a few thunderstorms just south of Katy and just to the north of Brookshire. If we put this over in motion over the last hour, you can see those storms really just firing up within the last 15 minutes. So far, incredibly isolated, but this is a system to watch over the last few days. This is how it starts. Everything starts with just a light rain shower, and then we can start to see them really blossom and become heavier downpours. So far today, though, it has been very few and far between. In fact, outside of those thunderstorms near Katy, most of us, we're mostly dry out there. Future Track is going to continue to show the possibility of downpours from now through about 8 p.m. in the evening. As we've seen, maybe an isolated thunderstorms holds on until 9 to 10 p.m. But for most of us, the rest of the day is going to be dry. Chance of downpours, and then into next week, continuing to rise. We've been tracking this cluster of storms working its way north across the Gulf. That's going to be increasing tropical moisture, meaning our air that's already pretty humid is going to have more water available, and that's going to allow for the possibility of really efficient rainmakers. As we head into Monday and Tuesday, we'll also begin to track a cold front. Right now, it looks like it will stall in Texas. The big question is, will it stall over Dallas, in which case we would be more dry, or will it stall closer to College Station, which could bring days of heavy rainfall? Regardless, with extra tropical moisture in place, we are anticipating Monday and Tuesday of next week to be the rainiest days of the